Listening is a fundamental skill that is necessary to establish meaningful and effective communications and relationships with other people. Without the ability to listen, it would be virtually impossible for us to learn, understand, and interact with the world around us. Listening is the act of comprehending sound or oral information that has been transmitted to us. This could be anything from a speech to auditory stimulation, or it could be ordinary conversation. People listen to gain an understanding of what is being said or heard, which influences their opinions, emotions, and behaviors. The skill of listening is often overlooked in favor of other, more obvious communication tools such as speaking and writing. This is because the person who is able to listen can be more perceptive, more easily acquire knowledge, and understand complex ideas better than someone who has not taken the time to listen. Listening involves more than just simply hearing words and what the speaker is saying. Active listening requires a person to interpret the meaning of what is being said and using nonverbal cues in order to gain a deeper level of understanding of the speaker and the conversations. This includes looking for clues such as body language or facial expressions, as well as paying attention to the speaker's tone of voice, volume, and inflection. Some law enforcement officers will ask you questions, and then they'll use something called neurolinguistic programming techniques, or NLP, to see how you are formulating the answer. This is done by watching your eyes, and if your eyes go into a certain patterns, it indicates that you're remembering what you're relaying to the person. If your eyes go into a different pattern of operation, then it's more indicative of you making a story up or lying. So they're looking at these verbal cues, like when you go through the customs office. You come out of you're taking a flight and you land at the airport, and you're coming in from overseas or from another country, and the custom officer is staring at your face, and then he asks you some questions. And what they're doing is they're looking to see how your eyes are moving, to see if you're making something up or if you're remembering, which would mean you're telling the truth. When we meditate on questions and issues that we have, the answer comes to us in mysterious ways. We need to listen to those answers when they come. They may come as a direct answer or some kind of synchronicity. That is a connection that may or may not be evident to us at the time when we receive the answer. For example, I'm driving to a destination and I take a different route than I normally take. I make a wrong turn or something like that. Instead of saying, "Oh, I made a wrong turn," what you want to do is you want to start saying, "I need to pay attention because is there something here that I need to know about?" You take a wrong turn, and then all of a sudden you see something that answers the question that you had. Okay, so I've had several examples of this when in the meditation class that we teach. One of the other instructors, someone gave him a question about one of the techniques, and he says, "I just can't do it that way. How should I do it differently?" And he didn't know what to do, so he meditated on it, and then the next day he was walking through New York City, and he took a wrong turn down a street that he normally doesn't go down, and he stood in front of a store, and all of a sudden the store had some prop in the window. He says, "That's my answer. I can tell him to do this." And so the answer can come to us in many different ways, and you want to pay attention because you're probably not going to get the answer twice. It's going to come to us once, and if you're not paying attention, that's it. The universe says, "I told you once, I'm not going to tell you again." It's very temperamental like that. Good listeners are able to provide feedback and ask questions so they can help to clarify the speaker's thoughts and ideas. They make allowances for the other person to express their thoughts fully and without interruption. This will create an environment of acceptance which can promote respectable communications, trust, and positive relationships. Now, it's also important to understand that when you're having a conversation with someone, to understand in the beginning of the conversation, are they telling you things because they want you to provide solutions, or are they telling you things just because they simply want to vent or be heard and tell you what's happening? Quite often, we go through life when someone tells us something, we want to solve the problem. We're naturally problem solvers, so it's helpful To clarify at the beginning of the conversation, when someone starts going on a tangent, just simply ask a question. Do you want me to provide solutions to this problem, or you just want me to listen to the problem? And sometimes they'll get offended over it. And what you need to do is you need to say, listen, I'm doing this to help you because I don't want to start giving you solutions to a problem if you're not looking for solutions. You just need to vent right now. Maybe you'll look for solutions at some other time. So being a good listener is not always easy, and it requires patience, focus, and an open mind in order to comprehend what the other person is trying to say, and to show them that you are genuinely engaged in the conversation. One of the techniques that you can use for listening is repeat the last couple of words in the sentence that the person says. And what you're doing is you're showing that you're listening to what they're saying, and you pose it as a question. So if they say, gee, I had problems with my kids over the weekend, you said, problem with your kids? And then they'll go deeper into the problem. And at the end, they'll walk away saying, gee, that person listened to me so well, because you're providing these little clues back to them as feedback, showing that you're understanding what they're doing. And when you're asking in a question like, problems with your kids, then they'll open up and they'll elaborate on that much further. And it's a way for them to get out all of the things, because they may not have thought about the fact that they need to explain what they're saying even in a more in-depth level than they were before. So it might take a great deal of practice and effort initially, but in the long run, the rewards are worth it. Listening is an invaluable tool that can enrich our lives and help us be better people. If you'd like to find out more of these kind of techniques that I'm talking about, go to my website and sign up for one of my classes, or I have some introductory lectures on there that you may want to listen to.